Okay, I know what you're thinking. That's it, Colin's lost it. He's now making stupid little plant stands. But before you click away, give me 1 minute and let me show you just how complex this build actually was. As it turns out, I happen to collect orchids. I don't have a lot of them, but you can see there's a couple here that need some help. So I think I'm going to make a little A-frame that I can put them in front of the window and get some more light. So I decide to make this frame, and it's, of course, there's two sides. There's one side and another side here. But when I start putting this together, I realize that you have to align this thing, otherwise it's not going to sit right, and they have to be equal. This side has to be the same as this side, otherwise these strips don't fit in there properly. They don't align. So so that was a jig. Then there's another jig for how do you line them up vertical and parallel so that they're not going one way or another. So that was another jig. All of these little strips on here, 1/4 inch thick, and they're rounded on all four sides. So that was another interesting little process. And they have to be aligned on here so they're all nice and straight all the way across. Otherwise it doesn't look right, it looks off. So if you're interested in this process that I thought would take maybe an hour, when it took me 2 or 3 days by the time I got finished this, I think you'll enjoy it, so stick around. So let's take a look at the jig that I'm in the process of making. Now I'm making mine on MDF, but you could use anything. I'm going to be using air nailers to fasten my pieces down with. Now, I also have cross members that I'm going to need to put on. So I made one miscalculation, and that was having this come down on the edge of the MDF here. And what I've realized is I'd really like to have a little bit more room for these other pieces to come down here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just sort of put this on here temporarily, and I'm going to show you a little trick, you may not have seen this before, on how you can do a temporary glue up and knock it off quite quickly when it's all done, but it still holds fairly firmly. Now I've just put some ordinary yellow glue on there. Now I'm using a strip of newspaper, and I'm gluing it to the newspaper, and now I'm going to put another layer of glue on top of this newspaper. And at the end of this video, I'm going to show you how easy it is to knock this off there and how easy it is to repair. So if you're doing a temporary glue up, this is a great way of doing it. I can put that on there like that, just like that, very simple. And I've decided, rather than, I'm not going to pin it or clamp it, I'm just going to use some of this glue or this yellow masking tape, this 3M indoor-outdoor masking tape. And I've already checked it on here. It actually holds quite firmly. So I'm going to use it as a clamp. And this won't take long for it to glue up and hold on there. And it doesn't have to be perfect for what I'm doing. Okay, I'm at the point now where I want to fasten my jig parts on top here, and I'm using my straight edge here. My aluminum is clamped at the bottom of this jig here, so I just have to make sure I align the top here, and the rest will be easy. So to cut these angles, the angle is parallel at the bottom as it is to the top. So I only need to move the saw once, and it's already set up for all of these angles because they're all the same. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut the bottom of the leg, then move it up, and I've got to stop at the other end of the miter saw, and then I'll cut the top off. So you'll see how that goes. Okay, so I'm ready to do the glue up, and you can see the legs are in here, and I've got the cross members. They're just resting on top. Everything is aligned. I've even marked, I don't know if you can see, I can barely mark the wood where I want to put the glue. So there's the glue, and I'm using an acid brush that I've trimmed down because I don't want to put a ton of glue on. Then I'm not going to be able to clamp these, so I'm going to use my 23 gauge pinner and just pin them down. So I just need to make sure that I have the alignment right, and I can go ahead and start gluing these up. Okay, let's lift that out of here now. There we go. All right, that's perfect. Now before I set up for the next one, what I'm going to do is lay some tape in there, because the next one's going to have to go like this, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, so I've laid some plastic tape down on the base of this thing in case I get some squeeze out. I don't want the squeeze out to end up on my MDF here. So the reason I have to flip this over now is, here's the first one I did. And of course we did it with these cross members on the way up. The second time, the other side needs to be on the way, so that these are on the downside. And the reason is so that they match up perfectly. And the reason for that is because if this is off at an angle, and I make this, if I'm off, say even 1/8 of an inch or 1/16 of an inch, if the next one is the same way around and it has to twist around or move around to the other side, and it's off at 1/16 of an inch, that means the two of them combined are going to be off by 1/8 of an inch, and the stuff just doesn't line up properly. So if we do it this way, we make sure that we mirror exactly what's on there, so that even if it is off by even 1/8 of an inch, it won't matter. You won't be able to notice that because everything will line up properly. So I'm just going to go ahead now and do the same thing I did before. I'm going to, and I'm not going to show you this because it's just putting glue on all of these and then matching this in here and putting it down. And I have changed the pins in my pinner, and I know that they go all the way through and they won't penetrate the MDF at the bottom. So I should be able, after a couple hours or so, just be able to lift this up the same as I did that one. So I'm just going to carry on, and when we come to lifting it up, we'll come back. Okay, so as it turns out, I've left this overnight, and hopefully with the tape underneath there, this is going to just lift off. Looks like, yeah, there it is. There we go. All right, well, that looks good. Okay, let's compare these two. I want to see just how accurate they are. Okay, so there's just how accurate those are. When I put these side by side, I can look at the side and the sides line up. All of these tops are all even. Now, if I, just for fun, if I flip this around, and you can't really tell, if I had put them both in the same way, I don't know if that would have lined up. So I'm just going to move over here. Yeah, see, they're slightly out of alignment. They're not a lot, but they're about 1/16 of an inch. I can see it. It's magnified up in this area here. So that's why we put them in like this, one sort of right side up and the other one upside down. And that way they match perfectly, because when I look at this, I can see the sides are aligned, all of the tops are aligned, and that's what we need to put this all together. So the next thing now is to put the cross members, the plates on, all of here, and we'll do that next. And one final thing is to remove this little piece of pine that I glued on the end here with the newspaper in the middle. Now, usually you can hammer these, and hopefully this one will cooperate. I don't want to bang it on here because there's a risk that because this is an area that I could blow this whole thing out here. I'm going to hammer this from here, and I might be able to do it from the top too, but I'm going to try it this way first of all and see if it just pops right off. Well, there it goes. And that's just it. That's just how quick and easy that is. And that there isn't even any, you can see the newspaper on there. And that's just a really quick way of doing a temporary glue up. Okay, now that I have all of these pieces cut, the next thing I want to do is a little bit of a round over on them so that they look a little nicer. Let me show you a detail of that. Okay, so there's the end of that piece of wood that I just showed you. This is what's going to form the top of each one of those little shelves. And they look fine the way they are, but I'd like them to look like this. And you can see how nice and soft looking that is. And all I've done is a round over on each side. So there's a quarter round, and I've got that installed in my router table now. So I need to go through sort of each edge and take a quarter off each one. Okay, so there's my router bit already set up, and I've already done the test, as you can see. And there's that piece of wood that I put the marks on. So basically, and I have a feather board here to keep it flush against the fence, so I'm just going to run that through, and I'm just going to do one of them just so that you see what the process is. And that's that process. That's the one that I just got finished running through. I just need to do that now with all the rest of them, and I'll do that off camera. So one last little detail before I finish up, and I've just talked about running a bead down here. So instead of doing a round over, I'm using a round over bit, but the round over bit that I have, it has a dual purpose, and a round over bit looks like this. So you've got this concave here and a bearing that is flush with the outside, so that when you run it, you get a round over like this. But the bearing that I have, if you put a smaller bearing on, you get a face side here, and if you drop it below the deck of your router, you get a reveal on here. So what you end up with is this kind of a cut. So you've got a reveal on each side. And I'll show you that when I'm done. And all you need to do that, not every round over bit does this. They will advertise that you can do that with it. So usually it's a little bit more expensive bits that allow you to do that. And we can get this course sort of a reel. So I'm just going to run those, and I'll show you what it looks like when we get finished. There you go, and that's what that detail looks like. You can see that it just adds a little bit of a different edge to that stand. Okay, I'm making some progress here. I can't believe the amount of work that's going into this little plant stand. So I have already put in 4 of these little crossmember pieces here because I needed to keep it steady, because I have the rest of them now to fasten on here. But if you see this board here and this one here, I had to set up yet another little jig, because this side had to be even, but it also had to be even and square with the front side. So that's what this is all for. And then the upright had to be vertical. So, and there was no way of affixing the square to it. So I did it sort of this way manually. So everything's all done now. I can take this down, and it's freestanding, and I've taken some time off camera. I've glued and tacked these on so it's nice and firm. I can do whatever I need to do without. And that is the next step, is to install all of these things that I've made, and I made yet another another jig for that. Let me show you that. Getting very close to finishing this now, and the last thing I need to do now is to glue and tack all of these on, and I'm just using my 23 gauge nailer. I'll put a little bit of glue on each side and then just a couple of little pins on there, but I need them to align, and you know, you can kind of eyeball them, but look what I've done. I just made another little jig, and I know that this is an inch out here, so what I can do is just put the jig on there. Now the front one lines up right with the edge of that, so that one will be easy. So I'll line that up, a little bit of glue and a couple of pins, and that one's done. The next one will be in there like that, and again, now when I put this little jig in there, I can line it, and if you look at the other end here, you can see it's pretty easy when you're setting these things up to be a little bit off, and they're all gang cut all at the same length, but when you use this, you can get all of them exactly the same lengths. Well, there's my plant stand finally finished, and I ended up using a can of spray-on lacquer finish, and that's because it's really hard to get in all of these little crevices in the tops here. So it's a quick, easy way of doing that, and it was a good reminder to me why I don't use this stuff very often. For this, it worked fine, but it's something that I don't prefer to use. So that's it, finally finished. I'd made another plant related because spring is coming here, and if you've got gardeners in your family, you may be interested in that build that I made a few years ago. But here's a real challenge. If you're looking for a challenge in woodworking, I invite you to go ahead and make this plant stand. I'm Colin Canet for Woodwork Web. Thanks for watching.